Bombshell report rocking the city. Arrogant City Manager Mashazi is in hot water, accused of exploiting vulnerable and already abused junior staff. The Malanga Commission has dropped a shocking revelation, and the city is demanding answers. As South Africa continues its fight against corruption, a dramatic twist has unfolded at the Malanga Commission. Retired Ekurhuleni City Manager Dr. Imogen Mashazi came under intense scrutiny for allegedly twisting a junior official's painful experience to advance her own agenda. This bombshell revelation has fueled accusations of arrogance and exploitation, placing Mashazi in an increasingly precarious position as she attempts to justify her actions. Evidence before the commission suggests that she may have shielded misconduct within the Ekurhuleni Metropolitan Police Department. The inquiry, which is probing deep-rooted criminal influence in the justice system, revealed how Mashazi allegedly used sexual harassment claims against a suspended police chief to strengthen her stance, a move widely criticized for its insensitivity toward the affected junior employee. MPD Chief Isaac Mapierre soon found himself suspended over allegations of serious misconduct toward the same junior employee. But Mapierre has consistently maintained his innocence, calling the accusations fabricated, nothing more than a smokescreen designed to push him out. He pointed directly at his deputy, Julius Mwanatsi, claiming the real motive behind the scandal was his attempt to discipline Mwanatsi for improper conduct. According to Mapierre, Mwanatsi had orchestrated the installation of illegal blue lights on vehicles belonging to Vuzimuzi Matlala, widely known as Cat, a figure already linked to several controversies. This web of internal conflicts set the stage for Mashazi's involvement, as she entered the commission with a narrative that heavily relied on the very allegations made against Mapierre. During her testimony, Mashazi repeatedly underscored the seriousness of these claims, emphasizing details that painted Mapierre in an extremely damaging light, even referring to the most severe forms of misconduct. She positioned herself as a defender of proper conduct, using these allegations to justify her own decisions and to counter criticism that she had protected Mwanatsi. But the commission's evidence leader, senior counsel advocate Celiu, dramatically shifted the momentum during a pivotal session on Tuesday. Celiu revealed a crucial update. Of the original 12 charges laid against Mapierre, 11 had been dropped entirely. The single remaining charge had no connection to the extreme misconduct Mashazi had repeatedly highlighted. This disclosure caught Mashazi off guard. When pressed, she insisted that the affected junior should be summoned to testify, as if that would resolve the glaring inconsistencies in her account. Celia did not hold back. He argued that Mashazi had introduced these sensitive issues not out of genuine concern, but to serve her personal objectives. He stressed that dragging the junior employee into the spotlight could cause further distress, something the commission was determined to prevent. According to Celiu, Mashazi's approach showed a deep lack of judgment, especially since the commission's rules do not allow witnesses to be called merely to prop up one's defense. Instead, it appeared that Mashazi expected to present unsupported claims and then rely on others to fix the fallout, a strategy that had no place in the proceedings. The scrutiny intensified further when Commissioner, Senior Counsel Advocate Sebelo, joined in, openly questioning Mashazi's commitment to the inquiry. This followed Mashazi's claim that she could not recall whether she had taken any action to undo 55 questionable appointments made by Mwanatsi during his time acting in a higher role.
The misstep was caused by the fact that the original statement had quoted all the charges in their entirety. The signed statement, which is the updated statement from yesterday, there is an indication that only one charge remains. But that's a charge of 2011, right? And if we go back to your annexure, IM 26, I just want us to agree on record at page 102 that the charge of appear was count 8 and related to an incident of October 2023. You're looking at me, another document.
Yes, I'm looking at you. We've agreed yesterday.
Okay, so you accept that that charge was withdrawn?
Yeah, we accepted that. We are going to concentrate on the amended charges. Can we talk to the amended charges?
There's only one charge left. I want us
can
to
we
agree that the charge that you spoke so much of yesterday was in fact in this process withdrawn, and that's charge 8. And I'm
I
reading from
agree.
your annexure.
I
Yes, so
agree.
it was withdrawn, except you omitted to draw to the attention of the commissioners yesterday that the charge that you spoke so often about was in fact withdrawn.
And
Now-
I indicated that the victim should be afforded an opportunity to come and speak for herself, which she agreed
And I think that is
about
correct.
the case.
That is
And
correct,
I'm not going to talk about it because I was not there.
Then you simply shouldn't have brought it to this commission if you can't talk about these things. It's only appropriate that you shouldn't have. But you did. And you spent time on your paragraph 50.1 where you unpack these issues.
And I supported my statement by saying I will request that the victim should come and respond for herself. I
Well-
remember vividly that I supported and qualified my statement when I made these allegations that the victim will therefore come and speak for herself.
Okay, perhaps I'll stop it there. You brought up these issues, and I submit. For your own, and forgive me if my choice of words is not right, ulterior purposes. And when you are confronted with them, and you are asked to clarify, then your response that the victim must come. This commission is not interested in subjecting victims to secondary abuse, which appears to be a solution to the problem as far as you're concerned. If you couldn't speak to them as a city manager, a person of your seniority, involving junior members in the force, you ought to have applied better judgment before you drag their names before this commission. And when you can't answer the questions further, you then say they must come themselves and speak to these issues. They never invited themselves here. And why should the commissioners do? That's highly responsible of you, Dr. Mashazi.
Can I remind you that in terms of the invite to this commission, I was afforded an opportunity to call any witness if I want to. And I have chosen to call this witness to come and testify on the issues that I've raised, especially the issue around rape and the issue around harassment.
But you,
Unless I was limited not to invite certain
no, you
witnesses.
you ask witnesses to be called to speak on your behalf. An allegation of rape by a junior member in the force has got nothing to do with you. And that witness can't come and testify to that issue because you did not suffer that indignity. So you misunderstood the rule, because clearly you understood it to mean you will throw mud at everybody, and if it doesn't stick, you will get a witness drag some witness out of a hole to present them before this commission so that your personal objectives are met. That's not what the rule intended. It intended for you to be able to call witnesses in your defense. These issues have got nothing to do with your defense. Perhaps that's what your program does. You used a junior's misfortune for your own purposes before this commission. It's sad enough. I don't want to engage on it. And I think as we leave here today, you should really go reflect and engage with this poor lady and stop using her or attempting to use her, because we will not permit you to use her in this environment. But that please don't try and use her for these purposes. Thank you.
Okay, can I pose a question? That chief of police was allowed to call Tipa as a witness, and I'm not allowed to call anyone to collaborate with my story. It is unfortunate, I accept it. I do not want to change the rule of the commission, but it is unfair on my part if I am limited in terms of choosing the kind of witness that I want to choose. And she was prepared to come and respond because there was allegation here in terms of Chief's assertion, the file that you gave me from Chief, that she accepted that she has actually withdrawn the case. And it is important for the commission to actually listen to a side of the story, irrespective of how your understanding is in terms of me using a junior to come and collaborate with my story. And I want to actually indicate that the four who came and made allegations against me, it took them a year to actually prepare those testimonies. They prepared over a year, and I was only allowed to prepare for 2 days to create my own statement. And I am allowed now to respond to these allegations that were made against me in 2 days.
Dr. Mashazi, let me just correct one error. You say Mr. Mapie, Chief Mapie was allowed to call Ms. Tipa as a witness, and you then ask, why aren't you allowed to call a witness? Here's the error you are making. Ms. Tipa was not called by Chief Mapie. She was called by the evidence leaders on behalf of the commission. And the fact that we allowed her testimony to be led is because we found that her evidence is relevant to the terms of reference. So just to disabuse your mind on the idea that she was called by Chief Mapie, she was not.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Commissioners, unless Dr. Mashazi would like to add anything, or commissioners have questions to Dr. Mashazi, that is the testimony of Dr. Mashazi before this commission. Thank you.
The purpose, obviously, is to highlight the behavior of the Chief of Police. He came here as a victim, and I don't know whether he disclosed, because I was not listening to the commission, he disclosed that he was suspended for sexual harassment. I don't know if he disclosed that. So it's to bring to the attention of the commission that in as much as he is suspended or he appeared here and he made allegation, for me he's an aggrieved person. He's an aggrieved person. And that's why I'm making this statement that an aggrieved person would say anything to tarnish one's reputation or legacy. That is the purpose of the paragraph.
Thank you. Now I understand.
Yes, Commissioner.
Yes. I mean, in the back of that answer where you say you're telling us all of this to show us he's an aggrieved person, but your evidence is nothing was done to him from these things that you list. He got away with it. He used your words, he used law enforcement, and he's got counsel protecting him. So according to your evidence or your testimony, he suffered no consequence for the list of things that you are giving except the suspension in 2024, and we'll come to that. But you've listed a number of things where you say there was no consequence. So how are these evidence or proof of grievance, these things that you are listing in paragraph 50, how can they serve that purpose if there was no consequence to him?
I think we discussed the issue of consequence management from my side, and I've explained that my hands are tight or were tight because I've been blocked through and through to deal with him. The process of dealing with senior managers, it is in the Systems Act. Senior Managers Systems Act, I think, is section 56 of the Municipal Systems Act, where you are required to get an investigation report or an allegation first. And I write the report to the Municipal Council with all the attachment to council, for council to take a decision, because he's appointed by council through section 56. So my duty was to write the report to council with all the attachment, but by then I did not have attachment. Hence, it is viewed, which I accept, that I did nothing. But here, I'm trying to, as I answered Commissioner, that the purpose of this is to bring to the attention of the commission that Chief came here to actually air his grievance more than anything.
Okay.
But he has a lot to answer. But it is not for this commission to run a grievance process or to run a DC for individuals.
Yes. No, you are correct. It's not our place to run a DC, but you have put this stuff before us. So I think in fairness to you, we give you the opportunity to explain it where we don't understand. But also I think in fairness to the people that you're naming, they need to know what it is you're saying about them. You mentioned, and I think I would like to be clear what it is you're saying in your evidence. You mentioned Lieutenant Colonel Tipper as one of the people that Chief Mapie referred to as his angels. You have also, in your explanation, said at some point she was put in to be one of your protectors by him. But it is in a paragraph where you speak about her. It's in a paragraph where you say Chief Mapie had children with subordinates who were vulnerable to his abuse of power, including conduct amounting to sexual harassment, coercion, and rape. Just to be clear, from your evidence, are you saying that Colonel Tipper is one of the people that you refer to as subordinates that have had children with the chief, that have been the victims of his abuse of power, coercion, sexual harassment, and rape? Are you saying that about her?
I have explained that if you are called an angel, it means you are playing along. If you are not an angel, obviously if you are not called an angel, you will not play along with Chief and agree to be abused, sexually abused.
I think we have to go past innuendo. This is very damaging if it is not backed up by facts. I'm happy for you to say it's fact, what you are saying about her, and you will give us evidence that backs it up. We won't stop you doing that. But if you're relying on innuendo because she's called one of my angels, and you say, therefore, she must have had an improper relationship with him, that is not permissible. So I'm asking you a direct question. Do you say it as a fact that Colonel Tipper had an improper relationship with Chief Mapie, and in particular, and maybe let me put it as specific as what I think you're suggesting, she had a sexual relationship with Chief Mapie? Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
And you have evidence of that you will include in your supplementary statement?
Evidence of them having an affair. Did you ask for evidence from Olani? No. Ma'am, did you ask evidence from Nweza when he said, I have extramural activities with Mukwanas?
I'm asking you the question. You don't ask me questions. I ask you questions.
So I have no comment.
May I please speak? You are a witness. You have to allow me to speak, and we will give you the chance to answer. You make very serious statement about Colonel Tipper. I'm not speaking about anybody else at this point. I'm speaking about Colonel Tipper. You make a very serious allegation about her. And what I'm asking of you is, if you know as a fact, can we have it in your statement if it is a fact? Because Colonel Tipper will have to deal with this.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Colonel Tipper herself also, she said, I have a close relationship with Mukwanasi. And I never, in the statement, you asking or the commission asking them that do you have evidence that I have a close relationship with Mukwanasi?
Okay.
So it's the same answer, ma'am.
All right. Thank you for that answer.
Chair, before we stand down for tea, may I just ask one question to the witness? Dr. Mashazi, I understand, particularly with reference to your last answer, that it was suggested by one of the witnesses that you had a close relationship with Mr. Mkhwanazi. Do you equate that to a claim by you that a female member, subordinate, had a sexual relationship with their senior at work? Do you place those on par, those two claims?
I cannot comment on that.
No, you are the one making the statement, so I want to know whether are they the
But
same?
I don't want to comment on that, Commissioner. Thank you.
Okay.
For the record, Doctor, it was actually Commissioner Baloyi
Commissioner Baloyi.
who engaged Mr. Nziza on the nature of the relationship. So I'm just saying, for the record, it should become clear that the statement did not just pass without engagement. Commissioner Baloyi engaged Mr. Nziza to get an idea of what exactly the proximity, I think that's the word Mr. Nziza used, what exactly he meant by proximity. So Mr. Nziza was engaged on that issue, for the record. And also, a video was played in which Brigadier Mkhwanazi went so far as to say that he would die for you, he would take a bullet for you. So some evidence was led with regard to the nature of the quote-unquote proximity or the quote-unquote relationship. Not suggesting a sexual relationship, improper relationship, or anything. So some objective evidence was led as to what, in the end, we will make of it. We will decide at the appropriate stage. So I'm just putting that on the record to make sure that you do not leave this commission saying that, as you were suggesting to Commissioner Baloyi, that there was no engagement at all with regard to the relationship that Mr. Nziza was suggesting.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching Daily Buzz News. Please share your opinions in the comments section. We'd be glad to read them and respond. Stay informed, stay engaged, and we'll see you in the next update.